Wotan. Without change, there's no improvement. Our journey began in the year 2012 when I was on the trail ride with some friends through the beautiful Biosphere Reserve Rhön in the center of Germany. I liked our time together. I liked the open landscape, but I didn't like the horse I was riding. In my eyes, it was stubborn, quite slow, mostly the last one, galloped only half the distance, and it kicked to other horses when they were closer than 6 feet, even once in canter 45 degrees to the side. This horse was called Wotan. 1 year later, I booked the same trail ride again. The guide had to allocate the most appropriate horse to each rider depending on their experience, size and weight, and somehow Wotan was the only horse left. Not good. I didn't like to ride Wotan, but because of a very reasonable decision, I didn't complain about it. As I was riding on Wotan, I remembered the book Be Strict im Sattel, written by Michael Geithner, that I just read one day before. It helped me to internalize the most important essence of being consistent. Shortly after, I became aware of all of my actions. It was quite easy for me to realize each slightly change in Wotan, so that I could respond way sooner to his actions. And the sooner I responded, the less amount of energy was necessary to stay on track. Freddie Knie Jr. once said, "Who wants to have attentive and sensible horses must also interact attentive and sensible with them." And he was right, as already the second day was full of harmony, and even 4 months later, Wotan still remembered our unique way of communication. I only rotated my body and touched his withers to change direction, and lifted my hands about 4 inches on loose reins to stop him. For the very first time, I felt ready for my first horse, and some people suggested that Wotan could be that one. But as I knew from the owner, he was too important for trail riding and socializing the herd. I found another horse named Mellors. Age, size, constitution, character, breed, gender, experience and health seemed to be perfect. As well, he was barefoot, open-minded and not yet ridden. Everything was like I had in my mind. But suddenly, overnight, he died within a few hours on an extremely rare disease. I was hit hard by his death and gave up on searching a horse. Then, 4 months later, I wanted to ride Wotan again, but this time he was slightly lame, so I got another horse. When I returned 5 months later, he was lame again, and then 3 months later, once again. Wotan had a chronic laminitis, and the owner tried his best possible to help Wotan, but he didn't succeed. In the end, he offered me to decide over Wotan's fate. I could give Wotan a try, or I could let him go. I started to search online about ways for treatment, asked friends about their experiences with laminitis, and checked for space in open stabling. A trainer made contact with a vet to take some X-ray pictures and asked the barefoot trimmer to take care of Wotan's hooves. All the necessary requirements were given, but then Wotan got very lame again. And in recent days there were nearly 20 people who told me not to buy Wotan, and just 2 that could understand if I would give Wotan a try. I thought, if I would not give him a chance, then maybe I will ask myself the whole life if he could have been cured. Wotan was special. At that time, I already met more than 100 horses, and among them Wotan was the one who learned most quickly. Due to him, I acquired a positive attitude, improved my body awareness, focus, and sensitivity, and then there were those anomalous thoughts. What if I met Mellors for a very good reason? What if Wotan got seriously sick for a good reason? What if October was 3 degrees warmer than usual for a reason? There were also those rare events of extraordinary flow and harmony, mostly happening on full moon days or when there were some of the most beautiful sunrises or sunsets. I've always been a scientific person, working in research, but I began to believe in fate. There were some reasons to give Wotan his second chance, and now I had a good gut feeling too. I remember using the saying, in good times as in bad, but I decided to start with the bad ones first. Wotan will be the one.